where the old stones sleep in rows, where silence speaks and the cold wind blows. There walks a man with a steady gaze, through time-worn paths and forgotten graves. Spitfire Kev with a tale to tell, through mossy ground and chapel bell, he strolls through shadows light in hand, a storyteller across the land. Celtic cross and hallowed ground, history whisper without a sound. Travelling far he walks alone, but every story finds a home.
Right, so we are now at Mildred's church in Whippingham. This church was used by Queen Victoria when she was in residence at Osborne House. The church is run by volunteers and there is a guide as well, so you know, nice car park, very friendly people. I've been here several times. Now going back to the church, Queen Victoria had this built. She had worked shifts in the old church, which dated before the Domesday Book, and had been restored by John Nash, which, matter of fact, we visited his grave down in St James's in East Cowes. She wanted a new and more splendid church for her family. So in 1854, Council area was rebuilt, and in 1860-61, the remainder was rebuilt. There are memorials to her on the form of a beautiful white marble pedros and a copper oak pulpit. Prince Albert designed it. He worked with architects to produce this beautiful and distinct place of worship. Princess Beatrice was married in the church and is now buried in it too, which we will visit her. The royal wedding took place in 1885 when she married Prince Henry of Battenberg. He sadly died in 1896, only the age of 38, and in his memory, Queen Victoria renamed the household area as the Battenberg Chapel. Princess Beatrice died in 1944 and was buried here with him in 1945. And this door here, this is the Queen's door. This is the one that Queen Victoria used to come in. Nobody else could use it, obviously, unless it was her party. Right. So here we have John Brewster. He actually invented the machines and stuff to help with speech impediment. It's John Brewster, FASE, discoverer of the system for the removal of impediment of speech at Edinburgh in 1823. He was born on April the 13th, 1769 and died December the 20th, 1852. He's buried along his wife, Sarah Brewster, the city of Cheshire, born April the 26th, 1770 and died March 28th, 1837.
One of a tiny band of small village churches which have become closely linked with neighbouring royal residents and therefore have a great many beautiful interests and historic features. St Mildred's Church is surely an outstanding example of this little group. As the visitor will soon appreciate, it becomes quickly apparent that personal attention and indeed loving care it has received from Queen Victoria and the Prince Consort and so many other members of the royal family, from its very design and building to the many beautiful features and memorials within.
See up in there, it's the V and the A for Victoria and Albert.
I have an extract from Countess Mountbatten of Burma, part of the St Mildred's Church, Whippingham, by Robert Innes Smith. She wrote, "Within the church, the Battenberg Chapel was very close family associated. My father, having been Prince Louis Francis of Battenberg from birth until age 17, when the royal family names were changed in 1917 and my father became Lord Louis Mountbatten."
One's in memory of Hiram Wheeler, verger and guide in this church on 17th of June 1984. A few stones along the wall. Here lies the body of William Coleman, Gent, who departed this life 11th day of February 1749 in the 67th year of his age.
The chapel contains memorials of him and his elder brother George, the second Marquess of Milford Haven, and his two older sisters, Princess Alice, mother of Prince Philip, and Queen Louise of Sweden. I feel sure the quiet beauty and the interest of St Mildred's will have a great appeal to all those who visit here and pause to reflect on so much of historical interest.
We have CH 13425 Lance Corporal W.J. Lomas, Royal Marine, Light Infantry, 27th of October 1918 at age 38. Thank you for your service, sir. Ethel Kate Saunders, rest in April 1913. Now I'm going to read a bit more about this to you. Saunders are very important to the town, this family. They started off the Saunders shipyard. This is Samuel Saunders. Samuel Edgar Saunders entered into rest December the 17th, 1933. A lovely fish, or serpents, I don't know. This is the place where I last time I was visited by a robin. Samuel Edgar Saunders. He was the founder of the boat building company S.E. Saunders Limited, which developed the constant material used in marine and aviation craft, such as the Sopwith Saunders bat boat and the A4 Medina. Saunders A7 was the last flying boat designed by S.E. Saunders before the takeover by A.V. Rowe, and the company became Saunders Rowe Limited, With John Lord as managing director, he started work in 1871 in his father's boat-building works at Goring-on-Thames. Later, he established the works at East Cowes, Isle of Wight, which had become world famous. Many of the yachts and motorboats built there at the time became famous. In 1912, he co-operated with T.O.M. Sopwith in producing the Sopwith Batboat, which is the first amphibian aircraft in the world and also the second flying boat to be produced. So this is Managing Director of Saunders Row, John Lord. He's all part of the Samuel story. And one of the planes they helped me out produce was the A27 London and the British military biplane. Also got another fallen Merchant Navy, A.A. Hayward, Butcher on SS Isle of Thanet, 14th of June 1945, age 45. Thank you for your service, sir. Treasured memory of dear wife and mother Janet Elizabeth Harvey of Kingston Farm, who fell asleep March the 27th, 1931, age 77. Her only son, John Henry Barrett, Air Sergeant, 5th Royal Sussex Regiment, who died in hospital in France, May the 11th, 1915, of wounds received Richborg, on the 9th May 1931. Thank you for your service, sir. Another plaque on there.
Cecil Edward Wilkins, Acting Command, Royal Navy, HMS Lowestoft, who died at Brindis, November the 1st, 1918, aged 32.
Thank you for your service, all of you. Another one of our fallen, 916706, leading aircraftman H. Jones, Royal Air Force, 18th of November 1944. Thank you for your service, sir. In memory of Mabel Mary Cox, died July the 1st, 1956, age 68. Also her son Robin Kemp, Royal Navy, lost at sea January the 29th, 1944. For this one, this is in the loving memory of Isabella Elizabeth, eldest daughter of Alexander and Margaret Thompson, newborn Osborne, who passed away on the 15th of September 1900, aged 24. Also, Alexandra Thompson, born the 28th of February 1843 and died the 18th of March 1917. Superintendent of Works at Osborne House to Their Majesties Queen Victoria and King George VII and King George the Fourth, or Fifth, sorry. So three royals, and a Margaret Thompson, wife of the above, who died on the 1st of November 1921, aged 75, and also Victoria Mary Thompson, died the 18th of July 1977. So I assume Victoria was possibly named after Her Majesty the Queen at the time. And this is Uther Fox. Looks like his stone's been cracked. It's not been cracked before. Love and memory of Uther Fox, 1898 to 1972. He was a naval architect. Does look like it's been damaged. I've got photos and I'll put photos up of what it looked like before this. Uther Fox was a naval architect and a yachtsman. Designed the airborne lifeboat, which saved many lives in the Second World War, as depicted on his tombstone, which is with the parachute there, and what's left of the boat that's been chipped off. Often sailed at Cowes with the late Prince Philip, and also our new King, King Charles III. Rest in peace, sir. This is Jeremiah Fuller. He was an innkeeper in the town. 18. The wind's getting a bit blowy here, so 1817, 27th of May. And this is his wife. You see another memory of Bernard Henry Birch, Lieutenant Commander, Royal Navy. He passed on June the 26th, 1935. Thank you for your service, sir. These words are lovely, some of them on here. In loving memory of Francis M. Beale, who died on January the 19th, 1937, aged 57. Safe in harbour. Also her daughter, Muriel Beale, who died 29th of March 1994. I would like to sleep now. Also Vera Sheargold, daughter of Francis, died January the 5th, 1997, aged 94. Rest in peace, ladies. Can't really see that, but it says Sarah Jane, and there's 1838 on there, died. Looks like the 21st of June, 1838. Bed, 2 beds there. Can't see nothing written on them. I've got something on there, but yet again, I think that would be another rubbing. This was a look. I've got a bit of writing in. Love and memory of Octavia Shedden, the youngest daughter of the late George Shedden. There used to be bars here by the looks of it. They were obviously removed for the war effort. Andrew Toward, he was born in Midlothian in Scotland. Andrew was born on December the 21st, 1795 to Alexander and Angus Anderson, Toward in Curry, Midlothian, Scotland. At some point during his life, he moved to England. He became the land steward, head gardener for Queen Victoria and the Prince Consort. He held this post for 29 years and was succeeded by John Macpherson around 1870, when he became too old to keep up with the work. Andrew died on May 7th, 1881, and he was buried in the Queen's Church in St Mildred's. And here we've got some really old ones. A lot of them are unrecognisable. Just about making some of the... If you look through my videos, I've got a short as well of time when I was down here filming one evening, when I had a red squirrel come bouncing across the grass.
The inscription on this cross, I found a picture of it and I will put it up for you to have a look. It says, "To the memory of John Frederick Jones, born 1820, died 1862. Groom to Queen Victoria and the faithful attendant during 13 years of the royal children by whom this stone is erected in 1862.
Affectionate remembrance of Anne, the beloved wife of William Jackman, who died the 16th of March 1899, aged 77. A loving wife and mother, she was also a kind foster parent of 2 Bulgarian orphans rescued from death by Captain Hyde Parker, Royal Navy, in 1854 and placed under her care by command of Queen Victoria. Also, William, the infant son of William and Anne Jackman, who died 22nd of October 1847, aged 9 months, and also William Jackman, who died 13th of November 1902, aged 82. That's lovely. From Medina, that's northward, and over to Cowes. You may be able to see it's erected by Queen Victoria to the memory of Eliza Isaacs, born 15th of April 1808 and died 20th of March 1896. It's a shame there's nothing on there. The urns. Church bell. Church tower. Telford Spensley, late Wesley missionary in southeastern Africa, who died at Carisbrooke, Isle of Wight, February 20th, 1863, aged 45. and this is different. Mosaics into the cross. And it says what I can read in another remembrance of Anne and Henry Cooper. So I can really see. Like Anne died 59. What a lovely cross. In loving memory of Benjamin John Henry Humphrey, Lieutenant Colonel, Indian Army, died 2nd of September 1915, aged 49. Thank you for your service, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Benjamin John Henry Humphreys, Indian Army Remount Department. He was the son of Captain Alexander Humphrey and Louisa Humphrey, nee Brabazon, Cavanagh Corps. Baptised 21st of June 1866 in Pune, or Pune, Bombay. Presidency, Maharashtra, India. He married Eugenie Blanche Cardoza on the 10th of April 1893 in Coonoor, Madras, or Tamil Nadu, India. Gentleman cadet of the Royal Military College, Sandhurst, commissioned into the Bedfordshire Regiment as lieutenant on the 30th of January 1886. Transferred to the Indian Army as a lieutenant on the 2nd of April 1888. And joined the 11th Madras Native Infantry, promoted to captain on the 30th of January 1897, to major on the 30th of January 1904, and to lieutenant colonel on the 30th of January 1912. In 1895 he was adjutant of the governor's bodyguard. In 1900 he was a squadron commander in the 1st Duke of Connaught's own Bombay Lancers. In 1905 he was with the 20th Deccan Horse. At the start of World War I he was commanding the Army Remount Department. He returned to England. He was also commemorated in Indian Army World War I Memorial in the Royal Memorial Chapel, RMA, Sandhurst, Camberley. Admiral of the Fleet, Louis Alexander Mountbatten, Marquess of Milford Haven, Prince Louis of Mountbatten, born the 24th of May, 1854, died September the 11th, 1921, and his wife, Victoria, Princess of Hesse and Bahrain, born April the 5th, 1863, and died September 24th, 1950. Victoria, if I'm correct, is one of the Queen Victoria's granddaughters. There we have Louis Alexander Battenberg, British royalty, grandfather of Great Britain's the late Prince Philip, born in Australia. Prince Louis became a naturalised British citizen upon his entry into the Royal Navy in 1868. He served as Director of Naval Intelligence in 1902 and later as Rear Admiral, Vice Admiral, Commander of part of the Home Fleet in 1910, Second Sea Lord, Chief of Naval Personnel 1911, and First Sea Lord 1912. At the order of Winston Churchill, Prince Louis retained the fleet's reserve ships at full readiness after the test of mobilisation on July 1914. He was forced to resign in October of that year as a result of a surge of British anti-German sentiment Prince Louis relinquished his German titles in 1917 and took the surname Mountbatten and was created the first Marquess of Milford Haven. And Victoria of Hesse, British nobility, Marchioness of Milford Haven, born Victoria Alberta Elizabeth Matilda Marie of Hesse. She was the eldest daughter of Ludwig VI of Hesse and Prince Alice of Great Britain, and the granddaughter of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. She married Ludwig Alexander of Battenberg on April the 30th, 1884. In 1917, when the British royals dropped all German titles, her husband became Admiral Louis Alexander Mountbatten, Marquess of Milhaven. They had 4 children and are the grandparents of the late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Victoria died at Kensington Palace at the age of 87.
So let me tell you a little bit more about this area and this church. The village of Whippingham and St Mildred's Church is its parish church. It's best known for their connections with Queen Victoria. Whippingham was the centre of a royal estate supporting Osborne House and Barton Manor. In 1804, a church was reconstructed by John Nash on the site of the lost medieval parish church. In 1854 to 1960, it was pulled down and rebuilt. Prince Albert, the Prince Consort, took an active role in resigning of the church's building. The chancel of the church was built in 1854 and 1855 by the architect Albert Jenkins Hubert. Although Prince Albert is thought to have had a guidance hand, the remainder of the church was constructed in 1861 and 1862. A side chapel of the tomb, Prince Henry of Battenberg and Princess Beatrice, is dedicated to the Battenberg family. Queen Victoria took a close interest in her people in Whippingham. This is reflected in many memorials in St Mildred's Church, which commemorate members of the royal family, including the Prince Consort, Princess Alice, Grand Duke of Hesse, Prince Leopold, Duke of Albany, and members of the royal household. The church also has a memorial of the Hessian soldiers who fought under the British flag in the 1790s and were invalided to the Isle of Wight. Soldiers from the Musketeer Regiment Prince Carl were housed in a newly built Whippingham Mill, which became a temporary barrack and hospital. 84 of them are buried in the churchyard. The memorial was unveiled in 1906 by the Landgrave of Hesse. Now let's go and explore inside and see what we can find.
well, that's it. So thank you much, Lee, for joining me on this travel back here again at St Mildred's in Whippingham, East Cows on the Isle of Wight. I hope that's helped out a lot more. Maybe go back and check the one that I did do with the music. And maybe something in there that I've missed that somebody might want to see about. I can do a quick short for them. But this is my favourite place for churches. I love it. I come down here and I chill, I relax. Better when it's not blowy. So that's it. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Cemetery Strolls. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You know, the more we can push, the better. See if I can get the almshouses. Another building's designed by Prince Albert. There's a gate actually up here which I should be able to push my luck a bit and just get a picture of the inside of it. It's private, but I'm not trespassing this is to do anything. I'm just showing you guys.